Hi, good morning. My name is Laura Diaz and this is my video about the art of teaching. I designed a lesson plan and the topic that I'm going to be teaching is language arts. I'm going to practice the elements of horror and different literary devices and elements students can find in a horror text or story. The students that I'm going to teach are 8th graders whose level is a B2 according to the Common European Framework of Reference. The class is planned for a 3-hour time. It can be a little bit less or a little bit more depending on the level of the students and how they behave in the classroom. And here you can see the objectives, and the objective is just one, the learning goal, and the outcome. As the goal of the class, I said that is determine the sequence of events in a short story and identify techniques to create suspense in a story. And by the end of the class, the student will be able to determine the order of events in a short story and identify some literary elements and techniques used in thrillers and horror stories. In the lesson plan, I designed it using in 7 different steps. The first part of the class, when you come into the classroom, you have to greet the students, ask them how they are, and set the environment of the class. This class is it's a language arts class, and it's the main topic is horror. So we can activate students' prior knowledge by asking them when was the last time they felt scared or excited. And you can keep on asking the students some questions so they understand what the topic is without specifically telling them that it is horror. As soon as you have, your students have discussed their ideas or their experiences, you can ask them to create a mind map. The idea of the spider here is to continue with the elements of horror and ask them to create a mind map using the vocabulary that they consider matches the topic. For example, every time that they see a horror movie, they will find blood, or the setting is at night in an abandoned house. So they can add words to this spider. That will take you 10 to 15 minutes. I decided it was 10 minutes. And then after that, you need to keep up with the environment of the class, and you need to ask them, you will ask your students, to watch a video clip about the author of the story that they are going to read. At this moment, the students still don't know the title of the story. But for when they see the video, they can predict the content of the text or the narrative of the text. The video is about 4 minutes long, so it's 5 minutes while they watch the video and everything is organized. As soon as they know, they can predict the content of the reading. The students are divided into groups, small groups of 5 or 4 students, and the teacher must give the instructions and ask ICQs, of course. ICQs are instruction checking questions where the teacher gives instruction and asks questions to see if the students understood instead of just assuming they all understood what they had to do. To encourage reading skills, the members of the group are handed the story in different pieces like a puzzle. They're going to read the story The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, and the idea is that you will give them the text like this. You have to cut them in, cut the paragraphs. Depending of how long the story is, you can cut the story into 5 to 20 different pieces. The idea is that they have this puzzle and they need to read the paragraphs to see what the order or the sequence in the story is. They must organize it so it has meaning, unity, and coherence, and this will take them from 30 to 40 minutes. Some of them will do it wrong, they won't be able to organize it, but the idea is that they read and reread the text several times and they support each other, so they can start understanding the text before they even read it. After they finish, or you give them like the 30-40 minutes to organize it, the idea is that they watch a video clip or they listen to the narrative, to the text. And I found a video here that lasts 20 something minutes. The idea is that they listen to the recording, so while they listen, they can reread and reorganize the pieces of the puzzle. This will take students about 30 minutes. As soon as they finish, they have worked in groups so far. The idea is that they can assimilate, that they can really understand what they have read and watched and listened. So you will give them time to work individually on illustrations. The story that you gave them, it doesn't have any kind of drawing or anything. So the idea is that with the words that they know so far, what they have understood, and the text that they have read 2 times by now, they can illustrate at least 2 crucial parts of the text. For example, in the case of the story by Poe, is the vulture's eye or a beating heart. And then they must answer in the same piece of paper. You're going to hand them a piece of paper, and they are going to answer what elements in the story made them feel scared and why. This should take them from 15 to 20 minutes. And the idea is that you paste the papers that they illustrate, the drawings, you paste them in the classroom, so students have the chance to look at each other's drawings and give feedback to themselves. And finally, after they have done all of this, you must give them time to prepare a draft or draft a script of a play where they will reenact the story that they just have read. The idea with this is that you will get, as a teacher, you will have the opportunity to see if they really understood the sequence of events in the story and the elements that make a horror story. I didn't design any paper written assessment because there are several markers throughout the lesson that evaluate the progress of the students. They are forced to read at the beginning of the story, and it's just going to be entertaining. It's not compulsory reading, but it's just a puzzle, and they read without even noticing. Then you have another reading that is necessary to check the puzzle that they did. So that is a second reading. And then illustrating the story, as a teacher, you will have the opportunity to see if the student really understood like the main essence of the story. And with the play, that is the final part, the final assessment. As a teacher, you will have the chance to see if they understood the sequence of the story, the characters, the setting, and with their facial expressions, body language, or the tone of voice, you will see if they understood the elements and techniques used in the story. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed it. This is the poem written by Poe. And that's it. Bye. Thank you.